With a news update on WHTC Holland's Cool FM, I'm Gary Stevens. It only took 9 days on the calendar before the feel of the proverbial dog days of summer arrived along the lakeshore. The National Weather Service office in Grand Rapids has placed an extreme heat warning for Allegan and Ottawa counties through 8 p.m. on Thursday. This is due to dangerously hot conditions, with heat index values up to 105. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy has also declared an air quality advisory for the region, with pollutants expected to be in the unhealthy for sensitive groups range. Among areas designated as cooling centers is both of Gateway Missions centers, for men on Waverly Road and for women and children on Fairbanks Avenue. Jason Parks is with the Mission.
When the heat indexes or the feel-like temperature is going to be, over 90 or 100, that's obviously when we open that up to anybody who needs a cool place to stay.
Other spots include First United Methodist Church on West 10th Street, the Herrick District Library's main branch on River Avenue, the Salvation Army's offices on Clover Street in Howland and Spelder Street in Grand Haven, the Grand Haven Community Center on Columbus Street, Christian Neighbors on 12th Street in Plainwell, and the Yankee Springs Township Fire Station on South Payne Lake Road near Wayland. Forecasters are not predicting any relief from the heat until overnight showers and storms on Friday morning. A byproduct of the extreme heat warning currently in place for much of Michigan is increased awareness of staying out of vehicles that are not in use. Groups such as AAA of Michigan are advising motorists to ensure that all children and pets are not left alone in parked or broken down vehicles. Adrian Woodland with the Auto Club in Dearborn says that inside temperatures could rise by 20 degrees in 10 minutes.
According to noheatstroke.org, more than 1,000 children have died in hot cars since 1998, with an average of about 37 deaths a year. And every one of these tragedies is devastating, and they happen so much faster than people think. So it's definitely important for drivers to know that this is preventable and to take a second to check the back seat, and it can definitely save a life.
The heat could also lead to vehicle problems such as dead batteries, tire blowouts, overheated engines, and fluid breakdowns. 2 crashes a half mile and 5 hours apart along a stretch of road northeast of Zeeland led to hospitalization of 4 persons yesterday. Both incidents occurred along 72nd Avenue. The first was around 2:15 p.m. near Polk Street, when a southbound vehicle apparently drifted across the median and slammed into a ditch. 2 persons from California in the rear seats, a 25-year-old woman from Simi Valley and a 30-year-old man from Azusa, were not wearing seatbelts and were taken to Corwell Zeeland Hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. The driver, a 30-year-old Davie, Florida man, along with another passenger, a 22-year-old Las Vegas woman, were buckled up and not hurt. Around 5:35 p.m., a 2-vehicle collision occurred about a half mile north near Bauer Road. A southbound SUV crossed the center line in a northbound pickup. The truck driver, a 29-year-old Hudsonville woman, and her passenger, a 39-year-old Comstock Park woman, were taken to an undisclosed area hospital with serious injuries, while the SUV driver, a 41-year-old Greenwood, Indiana man, was not hurt. No names are disclosed as both crashes remain under investigation by the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office. Joe Trigg is officially the new police chief in Grand Rapids. He took the oath of office yesterday with family, friends, and colleagues before him at City Hall. The 16th chief of the Grand Rapids Police Department bested 3 other finalists for the job last week and has served over 25 years with the GRPD.
I lead with passion. Purpose is what drives me. And I know it wasn't, it's such a big role, and it's something that you have to take seriously. And I know the process was a grueling one, but it was definitely worth it. Anything worth it usually takes effort.
Trigg became deputy chief in 2023 and has been serving as interim chief since Eric Winstrom left at the end of February for a similar role in Pensacola, Florida. The heat outside of the state capitol in Lansing could be matched by those inside this week. Lawmakers such as second-term Democratic Representative Joey Andrews of St. Joseph returned to work today, hopeful that a framework budget agreement between Republican House Speaker Matt Hall, Democratic Senate Majority Leader Winnie Brinks, and Governor Gretchen Whitmer can lead to an agreed spending plan by Wednesday's deadline.
Past budget cycles are an indicator. We'll probably have a couple of late nights this week, and hopefully we'll have a budget before the end of the week. But it's a fragile state of things. And, I also wouldn't be surprised if negotiations broke down and we're back next week too, trying to get this done.
Whereas news is reporting that much of the details being done by legislative staff, racing to finalize budget details by this coming Friday at the latest, ahead of the upcoming holiday weekend. The suspect accused of stabbing 11 people at a Walmart near Traverse City last July made a court appearance yesterday. Bradford Gill is facing 12 charges in the case, 1 for terrorism and 11 for assault with intent to murder. His bond was determined to remain at $1 million by the judge. The preliminary hearing for Gill is scheduled for September 8th after he was found competent to stand trial in May after a psychiatric evaluation. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook will remain on the central bank's board as her lawsuit challenging her sacking by President Trump moves forward. The U.S. Supreme Court, in a 5-4 decision, denied the Trump administration's request to pause a lower court order, restoring the Michigan State University professor to her Federal Reserve position. The ruling does not address the merits of her litigation against Mr. Trump, who ordered Cook dismissed from the Federal Reserve in August. The 170 Michigan Army National Guard members who've been deployed to Washington, D.C. to support celebration of the country's 250th birthday might be recalled. Governor Whitmer sent a letter to the head of the Michigan National Guard saying troops will not be deployed to help with President Donald Trump's safe and beautiful mission to fight crime in the capital city. She wants assurances that the troops are only in D.C. to support the narrow and limited American 250 mission after a website run by the National Guard's D.C. Joint Task Force listed Michigan as supporting Trump's safe and beautiful mission. An activist reported this past weekend that Michigan troops were on duty in the Georgetown neighborhood instead of the National Mall where America 250 events are happening. Quarterback Terrion Arnold has been released by the Detroit Lions after bond for him was set at $1 million by a Florida judge. Arnold is charged with kidnapping, armed robbery, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, and conspiracy to commit armed robbery. He is accused of organizing a revenge motive kidnapping and robbery after he had reported over $250,000 in cash, jewelry, and other luxury items were stolen from an Airbnb that he had rented in Largo, Florida. Arnold allegedly lured 3 men to a Tampa apartment where they were beaten, held at gunpoint, robbed, and forced to leave. Lions will not comment beyond saying they are aware of the legal case against their former defensive back. Casey Mize gave up 1 hit with 10 strikeouts over 7 innings as the Tigers topped the Yankees in New York last night 7-3.
It's always good when you can pick up those guys who have been working hard, doing a lot. So it was certainly a goal of mine to get deep in the game. So glad to get 21 outs and kind of be able to reset those guys is certainly important.
The series at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx continues this evening with coverage from Dan Dickerson at 6:40 p.m. on WHTC Holland's Cool FM. Saya Suzuki's RBI single in the bottom of the 9th inning enabled Craig Counsell's Cubs to edge the visiting San Diego Padres last night 3-2.
Both sides pitched very well tonight. It was a difficult day to, you guys saw the wind. It was a very difficult day. Both sides pitched really well. We got a big hit at the end. Pretty simple.
The series at Wrigley Field in Chicago continues this evening. Sean Burke scattered 4 hits with 8 strikeouts in just over 5 innings of work as the White Sox prevailed over the Orioles in Baltimore last night 8-2. The series at Oriole Park at Camden Yards continues this evening. Idle last night, the West Michigan Whitecaps host the Lake County Captains at LMCU Ballpark in Comstock Park this evening. Get the latest news anytime at WHTC.com.